Alright, welcome back to Fourth and Goal. So as you can see, this video is going to be about Clemson portal updates. Now this is going to be based on the current roster with guys that have left for the portal and for the recruits that are coming in on signing day. And let's just be honest, portal update for Clemson's not looking too promising. Alright, so let's go ahead and start on offense. At quarterback, Clemson's got Kid Klubnik coming back. I know there's a lot of people in the Clemson world who've been raving for Clemson to bring in one of these top talented quarterbacks that are on the transfer market. That's never going to happen at Clemson. Cade's their guy. Cade's Dabo's guy. He was never going to go out and spend the money it took to bring one of these big name quarterbacks to the program. That's just not how the program's built, and that's not the way they're going to do business. So Cade's the guy at quarterback. You've got Vizina backing him up. You've got Trent Pearman, who is a walk-on, and then you've got Paul Tyson. He's going to be a quarterback player coach. So that's your four guys at quarterback. Moving into running back. Now you lost Dominic Thomas to the transfer portal. So you've got Moffa coming back. Then you've got Jay Haynes, Jarvis Green, and Keith Adams Jr. The big question is Will Shipley returning? Now, Will Shipley said he's not going to hit the transfer portal, so it's either NFL or return back to Clemson. And at this point, if I had to guess, I'm probably saying Shipley returns for his senior year. I think his NFL grade's probably not where he wants it to be, and I think that's going to be the big motivating factor to come back to maybe he bumps that up a round or two if he has a great season next season. And I think he has a chance to have a great season if Clemson uses him the way that they used him toward the end of the year. You know, throw the ball to him out of the backfield, get him out in space. I felt like that's something we historically haven't done well with running backs who can do that. Tavian Feaster comes to mind. He was a great receiver out of the backfield, and we never used him in the role I felt that he probably could have played for Clemson. Moving into the wide receiver room, I don't see Clemson bringing in any transfer receivers. I'd like to see him bring one in, but I think Dabo Swinney's put all his eggs in his basket for guys like Cole Turner to return. And you've got Adam Randall out there, Ronan Hannafin. You've got the two solidified guys in Tyler Brown and Antonio Williams. So that's two of your three. So I don't see Clemson getting a receiver. I'd love for him to go get a guy that can stretch the field, but I don't really see it happening at all. You've also got the two freshmen coming in, the two recruits, Bryant Wesco and TJ Moore. So I believe Dabo thinks those guys are going to really push these more upperclassmen to play better, and if they're not doing what they need to do to stay on the field, then these young guys will get a big opportunity to play. I think one of the biggest problems in our wide receiver room is, outside of not being able to get separation, is these guys just cannot block on the perimeter. When you look at all the great wide receiver rooms or the great wide receivers Clemson's had come through, they've all been very good at blocking. So these young guys will have an opportunity to come in, and if they want to get stronger and block and show that they're ready to be on the field, I think there's a good chance you could see one of those true freshmen playing on the outside with probably Tyler Brown on the other side and Antonio Williams in the slot. And I'm not sure I think that's probably a pretty decent wide receiver room once it gets shook out. And I think guys like Tyler Brown coming in and making the splash probably saved Tyler Grisham's job. So let's move into the offensive line, and this is the big question of concern to me. So Clemson's been in the portal. They offered Alan Heron, and they also reached out to Keelan Rutledge. Well, both of those guys had committed to other schools before they ever made it on campus. So if we're talking baseball, we're in the 0-2 count right now. We're one strike away from having a strikeout. So Clemson also offered Addison Nichols. He's a transfer from Tennessee. He's in the portal. This is a guy that Robbie Caldwell recruited and Matt Luke recruited while he was at Georgia. So there is a relationship there. Addison Nichols is probably a guy who's going to be an interior offensive lineman playing guard. I think he ends up playing center down the road if he comes to Clemson. Now, I do think this is a guy Clemson ultimately ends up getting because of the relationships he's built with Matt Luke. So only time will tell, but I think he ends up in Clemson's class and he's a future center for the Tigers. So my thoughts are on the offensive line, Clemson needs 1 to 2 linemen out of the portal. I think Addison Nichols ends up in the class. They probably don't get anybody else from the portal. So I think they're trying to supplement that with Mason Wade. He's a 3-star commit from Duke right now. I think they're trying to flip him, and they're trying to get Elijah Thurman. He's a 3-star lineman currently being recruited. I think he just kind of knocked off Carolina, so I believe it's Georgia Tech or Clemson for his recruitment. So I think that's the guys that end up in this class would be Addison Nichols, Mason Wade, and Elijah Thurman, along with Ronan Hannafin. At tight end, Sage Ennis transferred out. He's now at Florida A&M. You still have Jake Brenningstool. You've got Josh Sapp, Olsen Pat Henry, and Dixon. So we still have plenty of tight ends on the roster. We're also bringing in Christian Bentacore, pretty highly recruited tight end who had an amazing senior season. So I think Clemson's okay at tight end. No need to go to the transfer portal there. So if you're liking this video, this portal update and roster breakdown, please subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell. That way you know when I drop a video. We're working our way toward 100 subscribers, and I know we can get there with your support. On defense, let's just jump right into the obvious. Clemson needs defensive ends, and they need a lot of them. So David Ojabwe decided to hit the portal. He played a couple games at Clemson. This was kind of a surprise to everybody. He was a pretty highly rated 4-star guy coming out of high school. So obviously it just didn't work, and he wanted to change the scenery, so he's in the portal. Clemson is also losing Justin Maskell and Xavier Thomas, and I could see Zaire Patterson potentially hitting the portal eventually. So Clemson's down a lot of bodies in that defensive end room. So I think Clemson really needs to go put that NIL money on a very good pass rushing defensive end, one of the bigger names that you see out there, because they need an immediate playmaker. You've got TJ Parker on one side, and then you're kind of rotating AJ Hoffler and Cade Denoff. I don't think either one of those guys are everyday starters yet. So I believe that they need to go in the portal and get one of these proven senior guys to really come in and get a good year out of them, and kind of let these younger guys get another year under their belt. And then I think they need to get a couple guys for depth. Go get some sophomores who are ready for a change of scenery and kind of build them up in the program. Now they're bringing in Darian Mayo at defensive end, and maybe he comes in and has a great season like TJ Parker did as a true freshman. Probably unlikely, but you never know what can happen. At linebacker, I don't think Clemson needs to hit the portal for anybody. Bringing Barrett Carter back, or having him come back, was better than any portal get or recruiting win that you're going to get. As Dabo said, you got the NFL draft, portal get, a guy that should have been in the draft, but he chose to came back. So at linebacker, you're looking at Barrett Carter and Wade Woodaz. And then you got 5-star Sammy Brown coming in. You've got the other younger guys, Kobe McLeod, Jamal Anderson, and D. Creighton. So getting Carter back kind of shores up those guys getting another year to really learn the position and get ready to be full-time contributors next season. At corner, or really I'll just lump all the DBs in together, but specifically at corner, you've lost Nate Wiggins to the draft. Sheridan Jones is out of years, and Toriano Pride decided to transfer. So you're down 3 corners. So right now you're looking at Avian Terrell and Jaden Lucas as being your 1 and 2 out there. And then you've got Sheldon Lewis, who may be able to really fight for a starting position as well. And then at safety, Andrew Makuba hit the portal. I think most of us, or I expected that to happen last year. I'm surprised he was here this year. But you've got Khalil Barnes playing nickel, Kylan Griffin / Tyler Venables at that safety position, and RJ Mickens hasn't made a decision on whether he's going to come back or not. He could come back for a 5th season. I hope he does. I felt like he's been our best safety over the last few years. So that would be a big get for the safeties room as well. And then we move into special teams, and there's nothing really to be said here outside of Aiden Swanson's coming back for 1 more season, so punter's solidified. And then you've got Robert Gunn and Nolan Hauser going to battle it out at kicker. Robert Gunn will be the upperclassman, but Robert Gunn struggled this year and lost the job, so one of those 2 guys will battle it out and become the kicker. Hopefully Clemson doesn't have to go to the sidelines and pull a guy in that really wasn't even playing football anymore. He was getting ready to start his career. So if you like this video, do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think about the roster. Where do you think Clemson should hit the portal for, even though the portal's closing, at least the first iteration of the portal? Tell me what you think. What should they have done? Do you think Clemson is being way too conservative with the portal or not? I personally think they are. I think they dropped the ball on the portal this year. So until the next video, have a good one.